now take privilege to introduce Miss Anjali Jaipuria ji. Anjali ji is an educationist working for her vision in bringing fundamental change in the Indian educational system. She combines her love for Vedic wisdom and its relationship with the needs of economic, social, and political conditions of today, creating contemporary learning materials. She studies Sri Aurobindo's and the Mother's evolutionary work, integral yoga and educational reform, the Vedas, the Upanishads, and the Bhagavad Gita. She has been teaching the Bhagavad Gita in the light of Sri Aurobindo to a group of aspirants since 2015. Under her leadership, Seth M.R. Jaipuria School, Lucknow has won many accolades like School Excellence Leadership Award and second best school in Uttar Pradesh in 2017 and among top 50 schools in India 2016. She is the president of Navsrijan, an English medium school for the underserved, which she started to fulfill her dream of giving level playing field to the children living on margins of poverty. And it is imparting the same education as Seth M.R. Jaipuria School to 300 students at present. She has developed Dev Bhasha, a conversational Sanskrit curriculum with the help of Sri Aurobindo Ashram, which has been instrumental in instilling values in students. Her other initiatives are Healing Habitat and Raising Consciousness, which have won accolades internationally by University of Berkeley and Johns Hopkins University. Apart from this, Anjali ji delivers talk at national and international forums on Who is Mother India, the Divine Feminine, Evolution, Mahavakya of the Gita, the Soul, Karma Yoga, Harmonizing Religions, the Soul of Indian Art, Sri Aurobindo, and Indian Nationalism, the Synopsis of Bhagavad Gita, Vedas, Evolution, and Sri Aurobindo, and many more. With these words, I would request Session Chair, Ms. Anjali Jaipuria ji, to set the tone of the session with her thoughts on the theme, Rise of India as a Soft Power.
Namaskar, a warm welcome and my humble pranams to Sister Shivani, one of the softest powers of India, who has made inroads into the hearts of millions of followers around the globe. I am also one of them. Namaskar and pranams to Shri Prabhat Pankaj, Director, Jaipuria Institute of Management, Jaipur. Prabhat, you have truly understood the difference between literacy and education. And for this reason, I have the deepest of regards for you. Namaskar to our respected professors, faculty of JIM, my dear students and dear guests. You know, it was in 1980s, I think, that Joseph Rai coined the term soft power. But centuries before that, India had mastered not one, but so many soft powers. Other nations of the world have used the power of their armies to conquer, to plunder, to loot other countries, or to spread their religion and languages. And this point definitely needs no elaboration. But India, our India, conquered too. But it conquered the hearts of other nations. It conquered the hearts of other people through the spread of its wisdom. India embraced the world with its philosophy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is one family. India didn't send the force of armies. She didn't have to. India sent her rishis and saints, sages and yogis who won over people's hearts with Bharat's innate wisdom, Bharat's innate gyan. Actually, what does the name Bharat stand for? We must know that. हम सब भारतवासी हैं. भारत वर्ड का मतलब क्या है इतना तो मालूम होना चाहिए. Bharat word comes from two verbs from Sanskrit, bha and rat. Bha, the root, it means light, the light of knowledge and wisdom. Prabhakar, sun, light. Abha, light. And Rath, we all use, wo karya mein Rath hai, which means we are immersed. Bharat means that which is immersed in the light of wisdom. Now look at this. What can one give? One can give, distribute, spread only that which one has, right? India's immersion in light or spirituality permeated all subjects of life. As Sri Aurobindo has said, all life is yoga. Culture, education, art, science, math, astronomy, astrology, nutrition, health, medicine, industry, finance, wealth creation, philosophy, science. Now, Tulsidas ji, we all know the Hanuman Chalisa. Tulsidas ji knew the distance of the sun from the earth. In the Hanuman Chalisa, he writes, Yug sahasra jojan parabhanu, lilyo tahi madhur fal janu. One yug is 12,000 years. Yug sahasra jojan. One yug is 12,000 years. Sahasra means 1,000. And one yojan is 8 miles. Now you can do the math. You all are management students. Multiply 12,000 with 1,000 and multiply that by 8. And it comes to 96 million miles. According to modern science, the sun is 92.9 million miles away. What was that science? I asked you students, what was that science with which our Indian rishis saw, discovered, calculated, created? They didn't have the modern tools of calculation. They were connected to their inmost center, which is also the center of the universe. This soul is God himself. They operated from the rooting they had with God within themselves. They heard the voice from above, जिसको हम श्रुति कहते हैं, हमारे Vedas. You name a topic, you name any topic, and you will find that one Indian or the other has converted his research into a science. The science of Yajurveda, so many Ayurveda, how many sciences? Every aspect of India was shot through. Every aspect of life was shot through by her light, her spirituality, her rootedness in the highest. हम सोने की चिड़िया यूं ही नहीं कहलाए जाते हैं. And these sciences we shared with the world without bothering to patent them or earn from them. These were our soft powers which drew the attention of the world towards us. Naming a few, India gave to the world the zero, which simplified computation completely and eventually became the basis of computers. India gave to the world the science of astronomy, the science of astrology. Through the medium of its literature, our Sanskrit language, Deva Bhasha, is that soft power of India which is spreading softly and subtly. Educationists are now realizing that if they want to impart value education, they must resort to Sanskrit. I personally know so many schools in the UK, Australia, Germany, which are teaching Sanskrit to their students and with so much reverence. In the field of nutrition, the world today is looking at India. Earlier it was looking at it for basmati. Now it's looking at it for haldi or turmeric. And you know what? Turmeric latte, जिसको वो लोग turmeric latte कहते हैं, our simple haldi ka doodh, is becoming a fad abroad. Our desi cows, A2 milk and A2 milk ke bana hua ghee have become the buzzword of healthy foods, replacing vegetable oils. Imagine the famous bulletproof coffee sold in the West adds A2 ghee, A2 milk ka ghee in it as an important ingredient in its recipe. Indian cuisines, we don't need to talk about. Everybody knows what a favorite they are in international food markets. We look at the pharma sector. The pharma sector, our science of Ayurveda, is getting a fresh lease of life in the West. Our vaccines have been donated to so many countries. This is the power. This is the power of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And when we speak of the rise of soft power, what comes to our mind is Bollywood music, Bollywood dance, Bollywood movies, and the West is crazy about it. Our classical music maestros, Pandit Ravi Shankar, Pandit Jasraj, Allah Rakha, we can't stop. The names are so many. And they have won over, they've captured the hearts of millions of music lovers abroad. Indian fashion. Indian fashion elements have inspired global fashion brands like Hermes, Gucci, Prada. You know that Chanel's Karl Lagerfeld? He drew inspiration from our Maharaja era. And his collection, Paris version of India, was after our Maharaja collection. Famous designer Jean-Paul Gaultier, he drew inspiration from our bindis for his collection Brits in Space, 2014-15. Hatha Yoga, our yogic asanas and pranayam have become a necessary part of health regimes all over the world, with yoga centers and gurus mushrooming everywhere. If this is not the rising of soft power, what else is? Our software industry and the brain of Indian youth is a soft power of Bharat Fund. Definitely. Our students studying abroad are doing so well that multinationals make an effort to capture these bright minds to run their industries. Indra Nui, Satya Nadella, Sundar Pichai. Why? The Vice President of USA, Kamala Harris, so many others. They spread the fragrance of Indianness in the countries they work in and interact with. Kya bolu? I thought of talking about the Indian conglomerates, but let it be for now. But do you know the greatest soft power of India? बताएं बच्चों, कोई मुझे एक जना हाथ उठा के बताए, what is the greatest soft power of India? Prabhat ji, will somebody give an answer?
Somebody has written youth.
The greatest
somebody has written in the chat, youth.
Youth, okay. The youth is a great soft power, but what is the greatest soft power of India which is rising, which is spreading? The greatest soft power of India is her spirituality.
Culture.
Adhyatma.
Janvi is writing culture.
Yes, spirituality is very different from religion. Someday we can discuss the definition of spirituality and discuss the difference between religion and spirituality. Let us see that it is only in India, whether we are educated or we are unlettered, the sense of an all-pervading God, the sense of the divine, the sense of Shakti is inherent in us. Chahe hum padhe likhe ho, chahe hum anpad ho. This is our inheritance. This is the legacy we get by being born in India. And this is the soft power that India has, which is her gift to the world. In his message on India, in his message to India on our Independence Day in 1947, Sri Aurobindo said, and I quote, "The spiritual gift of India to the world has already begun. India's spirituality is entering Europe and America in an ever-increasing measure. That movement will grow." Unquote. How true it is today. For we can see that to satisfy its spiritual seeking, the gaze of the world is on India and India alone. It was the soft power of India that spoke through Swami Vivekananda in 1893 at the World's Parliament of Religions, Chicago, winning over the entire Congress. Who hasn't heard of Swami Yoganand, who lived in USA from 1920 to 1952, spreading Kriya Yoga. The Brahma Kumaris alone have 8,500 centers around the world. It is the seeking of the world which is looking at Brahma Kumaris, which is looking at India for answers. Our Bhagavad Gita is making inroads into the hearts of millions of spiritual seekers world over. Einstein said, and I quote, "When I read the Bhagavad Gita and reflect about how God created this universe, everything else seems superfluous." Our Bhagavad Gita has been translated into more than 75 languages, or maybe more, I'm not sure. And in English alone, there have been more than 300 translations. Who is God? Where does he live? Is he far from us, or is he really close to us? How do I secure permanent connectivity with God? Will this connectivity with him help me in changing my nature? For after all, what is spirituality if the nature can't be changed? These and many such questions have been crossing the minds of seekers all over the world. And the world is seeking answers from the Guru of the world, our very own Bharat Mata, our India. This is the rise of India as a soft power, my dear students. With this background, I hand over the mic to Pujya Sister Shivani to delve deeper into this subject. Thank you. Vande Mataram.
DK Sister Shivani needs no introduction, as her voice has reached far and wide, not only across the nation, but throughout the world. Yet, befitting the occasion, I consider it my privilege and honor to introduce her. Sister Shivani hails from Pune, Maharashtra. Her academic satchel is brimming with the gold medal which she earned in Electronics and Communication Engineering. After pursuing her BTech, she served as lecturer in Bharati Vidyapeeth University, Pune for 2 years. At present, she is based in Gurugram, where she runs a software company with a spouse, apart from her enormous services to the Brahma Kumaris World Spiritual University. Talking about her spiritual journey, Sister Shivani, in her early 20s, started going to Brahma Kumaris and subsequently developed a keen interest in its preachings. Since then, she started practicing Raj Yoga meditation and its teachings, and also started giving her services at the backstage of the production of Brahma Kumaris television show, Awakening with Brahma Kumaris. However, due to the engagements of senior teachers of Brahma Kumaris, Sister Shivani was given the opportunity to take the show further. Carrying a persona of a star, serenity and divinity of a saint, clarity in her talk made Awakening with Brahma Kumaris a spiritual blockbuster and transformed millions of lives. However, with great humility and candidly, she attributes the success of this show to its director and scriptwriter, the Almighty Authority, Shiva. Her discourses on happiness, stress management, inner power, healing relationships are quite appreciated, as they give a deep insight and a fresh approach to deal with the personal and professional issues and challenges. She has authored a number of books prominent amongst are Living a Value-Based Life, Emotions, Do You Rule Them or Do They Rule You? Happiness Unlimited, Soul Connections, Going Beyond, The Origin and Philosophy of Raj Yoga, Harmonizing Relationships. Sister Shivani, through her lectures, makes every effort so that she can connect the audience to the Almighty. Her noble deeds and humility has been recognized and brought her many laurels, such as Women of the Decade by SOCHM Ladies League in 2014. She has been nominated as the Goodwill Ambassador of the World Psychiatric Association in 2017 and has received the most prestigious Nari Shakti Award by Honorable President of India, Shri Ramnath Kovindji in 2019. BK Sister Shivani's spiritual journey can be aptly quoted in the words of हरिवंश राय बच्चन जी, जो सत्यम शिवम सुंदरम है, जो सत्यम शिवम सुंदरम है, दुनिया रहती है उसके प्रति अंधी अनजान। वह उसे देखती उसके प्रति नतशिर होती, वह उसे देखती उसके प्रति नतशिर होती, जब कोई वाणी का मेधावी करता उसको आंखें प्रदान, जब कोई वाणी का मेधावी करता उसको आंखें प्रदान। जो अव्यक्त है व्यक्त तब होगा जब वाणी का मेधावी कोई उतरेगा और कराएगा जन जन से उसकी पहचान। With these words, may I now request Sister Shivani to share her thoughts on Rise of India as a Soft Power.
Om Shanti and Namaskar and Shukriya for sharing such powerful thoughts, Anjali ji. Every thought is an energy, it's a vibration. And that vibration doesn't remain limited to all of us here who are listening to the words, but it's a vibration that radiates and radiates all over the planet. So just coming together, being here, and together creating high energy words is a vibration which will influence the collective energy of the planet. And that is truly the gift of Bharat. That is really the gift of Bharat, the vibration and the energy that we can radiate. And so while you were sharing about the power of language, the power of Sanskrit, the power is in the energy of every word of that language. So it's the vibration, because every word has a vibration. So when, as children, if we're learning the language right from kindergarten and we're learning it right up to high school, it's not really just a language. You know, there's so many languages we learn, but it's not just a language. The language means every word you speak, you are creating an energy. Every word we speak is creating an energy. That energy will influence first the state of mind, then that every word will radiate to every cell of the body. It will create the health of the body. That every word vibrates into the environment and is creating the world. In the current scenario, where the state of the world is being talked about in terms of our emotional and mental health, in terms of our physical health issues and disease, relationships a little struggling sometimes, and environmental health. In fact, the United Nations this year has given the theme as only one earth. You know, we need to remember, we have only one earth. They have been teaching us, trying to tell us to change our ways, but yet we seem to be going on with life the way we are going on. And so the theme this year is only one earth, which means we need to wake up that we have only one earth and what are we doing to it. But in order to take care of our planet, again, it cannot be done only outside. There's a lot of work that's going on outside to take care of the planet, the resources of the planet. But it's incomplete. It's incomplete till we take care of the inside world. Till we take care of the inside world. Because ये हमारी सृष्टि है. So the planet is our सृष्टि. But सृष्टि बनती कैसी है? So Bharat knows the spiritual equation for it. And the spiritual equation is संकल्प से सृष्टि बनती है. It's a law. It's a spiritual equation. It always works. So come to your own house, that is your srishti, your world, and it's a world of 4 people living in that house. But if you're living in a tower or in a township where there are 400-500 identical houses, अब वो दिखने में तो सारे घर एक जैसे हैं, all of them look identical. Hypothetically, they're all furnished also the same way. But just walk into every house and you can feel a different energy. हर घर की एक अलग ऊर्जा होती है. So why is it that every house which looks identical, but how is it that it has a different energy? So who creates the vibration of the house? It's the state of the mind of the people living in that house. So sankalp se srishti, which means their sankalps, their thoughts create their srishti. So what is our srishti? First, every thought we create influences our feelings. So today, when everybody is concerned about mental health, huge rise in mental health issues, and especially in the last 2 years, it went at a speed which was higher than what was predicted before 2020. So we are from an era where in school and college, we were not even using the word stress. मतलब वो शब्द सिर्फ फिजिक्स में हुआ करता था कि stress is equal to pressure divided by resilience. We were not walking around saying, I am stressed, you are stressed. That word was not there. Today, children are talking, I'm depressed. So what happened in the last 25-30 years? Why it's very important? Because this power that we are all talking about, the power that we know, the power the world is recognizing, important is to ask myself, am I using the power that I have? The power that I have means the power that my country has gifted me. Am I using it? जैसे अंजलि ने अभी कहा, अंजलि जी ने अभी कहा कि वो टर्मरिक लाते पीते हैं, लेकिन हमारे बच्चे मम्मी को कहते हैं मुझे हल्दी वाला दूध नहीं पीना है, मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगता है, मुझे हॉट चॉकलेट चाहिए, मुझे कोल्ड कॉफी चाहिए. अब जब वो टर्मरिक लाते बना लेंगे और फिर वो यहाँ आ जाएगा, तब हम उसको पीना शुरू कर लेंगे. तो हमारे घर की चीज जो हमारी नानी, दादी, मम्मी सबने हमें सिखाई, we think it's so boring, it's so tasteless, we would rather have cappuccino. Nothing wrong with that, okay? So we are not saying anything is wrong with that, but we are not valuing the richness, the power which we have. We are not valuing it. And when we don't value it, how will we use it? How will we use it? So especially in a year where the entire country together is celebrating 75 very, very special years of the country, it's also time to revive within ourselves here the pride and the love for our country, but we will be able to do it only by using what the country has given us. Because one is in theory, कि हाँ मैंने ये सुना है, हाँ हमारे देश ने ये किया, which is very important. It increases that, that love for the country and that passion. फिर वो थोड़ी देर में हम वापस ऐसे हो जाते हैं, हम वापस अपने influence में आ जाते हैं of everything around us, and sometimes we say things which are not even right. Oh, इंडिया में तो ऐसे होता है, oh, इंडिया में तो ऐसे होता है, oh, I don't want to go outside. रुकिएगा, pause before you ever say something like that. Because why we are saying that is because we don't know the power of this country. We don't know the power of the Sanskriti and the Sanskar of our country. It's like not knowing the value of your own family and your home. And being there and saying, oh, bada boring hai, mujhe kahin aur jana hai. It's because we haven't used that power. So it's very important to remember the spiritual equation, sankalp se srishti banti hai. Which means sankalp se hamare feelings banti hai. Sankalp se our physical health gets created. Sankalp se our relations get created. Every thought we create is a vibration. It radiates to people. So before you pick up your phone, type a message and it reaches them and they open it and then they read it, every thought you create has already reached there. Because it's a vibration. So our relationships get created based on our thoughts, and our profession, our financial health creates based on my state of mind, and the environment, because our every thought is influencing the air, it's influencing the water, it's influencing the plants, the vegetation, and of course the animals. Go back to all those houses, and if every house has a little garden, which means just a few plants in the balcony, and if each house has a pet, so let's say hypothetically each house has the same breed of a dog each house has, you will see them behaving differently. They will behave differently. Their personality, their characteristics of that animal will be different. The plants will be different, because that is the impact of sankalp the minds of the people living in that house, on the air, the vegetation, the animals, everything. That is Sankalp se Srishti. So whether it's 4 people creating a home, or whether it is 700-800 crore people creating the planet, it is going to start from here. It's going to start from here. And so our culture gives us the knowledge how to take care of the Sankalp, how to take care of the Sankalp. Science is incomplete if it doesn't teach us the science of the mind, the science of the mind. So if we go a few hundred years back, the education system was very different in Bharat. It was called the Gurukul system. So what happened in the Gurukul system? There were 2 educations. 2 education mean you were educating of the outside world. So the maths, the sciences, the history, the geography, the literature, it's the education of the outer world. But Gurukul also taught us the education of the inner world, which means मुझे अपने मन का ध्यान कैसे रखना है, मेरे संस्कार कैसे होने चाहिए, सेवा भाव कैसे करना चाहिए. All that was also being taught in the Gurukul. And this is what is going to come back in Bharat. It has to come back in Bharat, come back with that same system कि बाहर की दुनिया की पढ़ाई, लेकिन अंदर के मन की पढ़ाई भी करनी बहुत जरूरी है. And very soon, keep it in writing for all the children today. Very soon, we're going to reach a stage, and it's going to happen very soon. Children from all over the world will want to come to study in Bharat. जैसे आज आप लोगों का मन करता ना हम यहाँ जाएंगे वहाँ जाएंगे पढ़ने के लिए, children from all over the world will come to Bharat to study, because we are reaching an epidemic of emotional and mental health issues. It's an epidemic. It's a big epidemic. And when you have everything outside, बट अगर आपके अपने मन का आप ध्यान नहीं रख पा रहे हो, आपका मन आपको खुश नहीं रहने दे रहा है, यू नॉट हैप्पी इनसाइड, यू नीड दैट पावर. एंड वो पावर लेने के लिए तो लोग भारत ही आएंगे, लोग भारत ही आएंगे. वो वापस वही यूनिवर्सिटीज होंगी जो पुराने जमाने में विदेश से सारे भारत आते थे ना. व्हाई डिड दे कम टू भारत, टू दोज यूनिवर्सिटीज, टू दैट गुरुकुल? बिकॉज दे वर टॉट अबाउट संस्कार्स, दे वर टॉट अबाउट संस्कृति, दे वर टॉट अबाउट संसार. इट्स 3 words connected: संस्कार, Sanskriti, Sansar. Sanskar, Sanskriti, Sansar. So we need to know all our spiritual equations. Like we know all our science and maths equations. जब वो पता होती हैं, we can create miracles. Anything created in the world today, it has an equation of chemistry or of physics or of biology or of maths. It has to have one equation to create all the miracles in the world. Similarly, all miracles created in the human mind start with an equation. First equation, संकल्प से सृष्टि बनती है. Second equation, संकल्प से सिद्धि होती है. Which again, like haldi doodh, which went outside and came back to us with a different name. So sankalp se siddhi went out and came back to us as law of attraction. As law of attraction. And we read it in books, and we read it from, but doesn't matter, as long as we learn it, it's okay. As long as we learn it from wherever it comes, but you need to know where it went from. So the spiritual equation is sankalp se siddhi. Sankalp se siddhi means thoughts manifest. Siddhi means manifestation. Sankalp means thoughts. Thoughts manifest, and thoughts manifest came back to us as law of attraction. But usme bhi what was the change? Law of attraction is only teaching people how to manifest something in the outer world. You want to become so and so thing? Think it, manifest it, attract it in your life. But Sankalp se Siddhi was not only about manifesting things in the outer world, not only manifesting things in terms of achievements or performances, but Sankalp se Siddhi means manifesting in your sanskars what you want to become. Not just what you want to become outside, but the person you want to become is Sankalp se Siddhi. Sankalp se Siddhi. So that is the second law, and we'll see how to use it today to become who we want to be. Not just the performer, not just the achiever, but the person that I want to be. Because one thing which has been very rich in Bharat, which we need to revive once again, is person over performance. Person over performance. Today we are living in a culture which prioritizes performance over person, which means हम successful किसको कहते हैं? Oh, so and so did so very well in this thing, in this thing, in this thing. They topped, they came first, successful. In case someone didn't do very well academically or sports or anything, so oh, that person no good, that person failure. but that person could have very beautiful sanskars, could be a very caring, sharing, cooperating personality. लोग कहते failure, did nothing in their life, क्योंकि हम performance based society हो गए हैं. Bharat is actually not a culture of performance based society. We are a person based society. And that's what we're going to come back to again, because that's the soft power. That's the soft power. कि संस्कार कैसे हैं? सिर्फ marks कितने हैं वो नहीं, सिर्फ achievements कौन सी हैं वो नहीं, संस्कार कैसे हैं? That is extremely important. And सफलता संस्कारों के आधार से होती है, not achievements के आधार से. I could be an achiever. I could be on the cover of business magazines, but nobody comes to check how happy am I, how beautiful are my relationships, how nice am I a person to work with the rest of my teams. Everybody only checks what I achieved. So that is very incomplete. Success ka Hindi word, that's why vocabulary is very important. Success ka Hindi word is safalta. And safalta word mein hi success ka meaning hai. Safalta means safal karna. If you spend your time in a worthwhile way, तो आपके बड़े कहेंगे तुमने आज का दिन अपना सफल किया, तुमने अपना समय सफल किया, तुम्हें अपना जीवन सफल करना है. सफल करना means to be a giver. To be a giver. Language बदली, हमने तो meaning ही बदल दिया. And हमने सोचा success means how much I get. Success is not about how much I get. Success is how much of a giver am I. सफल करना है अपना जीवन. इसीलिए सब शब्दों का मीनिंग हमें पता होना चाहिए. It doesn't mean that performance is not important. Performance is extremely important. Achievement is extremely important. But it's only one part of life. It's one part of life. It is not the life. It's not the life. It is one part of life. So my happiness, my health, my relationships, and my achievements. इन चारों aspects को अगर हम लें और वो सब equally balanced है, then we will call that successful. But सिर्फ achieve किया और बाकी ऐसे हिले हुए हैं, that's not truly called successful. That's called only an achiever. An achiever. The achiever and success is not the same thing. It does not mean the same thing. तो हमें सफलता का अनुभव करना है. तो संकल्प से सिद्धि. We're going to practice this equation. संकल्प से सिद्धि. How to do it? Simple. Thoughts manifest, they become a reality. Now, whatever you want to become here, who you want to become. So suppose from the window that I can see in the auditorium, would you raise your hands if you experience stress, anger, or aggression ever? Does anybody experience amongst the children? Does anybody experience stress or irritation or anger? Would you raise your hands, please? थोड़ा सा अच्छे से उठा लो ना, दिख जाएगा. उठा लो. हाँ, right. Now, एक्सपीरियंस करना कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, लेकिन उसको नॉर्मल मान लिया. समाज ने कहा स्ट्रेस तो नॉर्मल है, एंगर नॉर्मल है, फियर नॉर्मल है, इरिटेशन नॉर्मल है. ये नॉर्मल नहीं है. दिस इज नॉट ट्रू. एंड दैट्स व्हाई इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू नो आवर संस्कार. दैट इज द धर्म. सो लाइक अंजलि जी वाज शेयरिंग, व्हाट इज द रिलीजन? What's the religion? So one is religion which we study here, but actually what is dharam? Dharam means the religion of the soul. The religion of the soul, which means the duty of the soul. What is the religion of the soul? Purity, peace, power, love, happiness, wisdom. This is religion of the soul. This is dharam. And जब धर्म को हर कर्म में लगाया जाएगा, which means when dharam and karam go together, then we can be truly karam yogi. Then truly we are going to be happy and healthy. Lekin dharam means, if dharam only means that I pray in the morning and during the day I can do any kind of karam and I can say stress and anger is normal, then I'm not a karam yogi. And if I'm not a yogi, then I am a bhogi. Bhogi means the one who suffers. Which means I'm at a lower vibration. Need to be at a higher vibration. So let's write down a few sankalp which we will start using from today. So all the children, if you have your phone or a notepad, just write it down because we're going to start using it from today. This is another language. Like you all study Sanskrit, it's a language. इसी तरह श्रेष्ठ संकल्प करना, which means high vibrational thoughts create करना, is also a language. For example, first sankalp, I am a powerful being. I am a powerful being. Second sankalp, I am calm and stable always. I am calm and stable always. Third sankalp, I am happy always. I am a powerful being. I am calm and stable. I am happy always. Fourth sankalp, I am fearless. I am confident. I am fearless. I am confident. Fifth sankalp, I am a giver. I am a giver. Sixth sankalp, my body is perfect and healthy always. My body is perfect and healthy always. Sixth sankalp, especially for students, actually for everybody, but especially for students. I am focused. My concentration is very high. I'm focused. My concentration is very high. Seventh sankalp, success is certain for me. Safalta nishchit hai. Eighth sankalp, I accept people. People accept me. My relationships stand on trust and respect. I accept people. People accept me. My relationships stand on trust and respect. And last sankalp, God's power and blessings is a divine circle of protection around me. It's my Suraksha Kavach. Now, इस संकल्पों को इंग्लिश भाषा में हम affirmations कहते हैं. So if you go online, because it's a deeper science, just study the power of affirmation and the power of visualization. Which means if we take any sankalp and we repeat it daily, it will manifest, it will become a reality. The sankalp does not know whether it's positive or negative. Any sankalp will manifest. So if we keep saying, I'm stressed, I'm stressed, I'm stressed, then stress is who we will be. Sometimes we say, I'm depressed. Never say that. Never say that. One, because you don't have depression, but just because you're feeling a little low, we start using very low vibrational words and we say, I'm very depressed today. The other person says, yeah, the weather is so depressive. This is a language. Low vibrational vocabulary is harmful for our mind, body, and environment. So always high vibrational words. If we keep saying, I am busy, I don't have time, I'll never have time. I will never have time. Then put a sankalp, I'm easy and I have more time than I need. So now this is power that Bharat has. Bharat Sanskriti Sankalp Se Siddhi teaches us to create those thoughts which you want reality to be. Not look at the reality and start creating the thoughts, but create those thoughts which you want reality to be. तो संकल्प करो और उसको अपना भाग्य बनाओ. See it becoming your destiny. See it becoming your reality. Now, these 8-10 sankalp that we have written, you can add any sankalp in this. Let's say somebody has a nature of being late. Then they put a sankalp, I am punctual always. Which means जो आप बनना चाहते हैं, you have to put a sankalp, I already am. And जब आप उसको बोलेंगे, I am, आप वो बनना चाहेंगे. So I am, fill in the blank, and you are, fill in the blank, should always be a high vibrational word. And वो सिद्ध हो जाएगा. वो सिद्ध हो जाएगा. और अगर गलती से लो वाइब्रेशनल बोला तो वो भी सिद्ध हो जाएगा. इसलिए हम उसको हाई वाइब्रेशनल बोलते हैं हमेशा. अब when do we use these sankalps so that they manifest and they become a reality? The magical timings, most important, just before going to sleep. Just before going to sleep, because the subconscious mind is going to open and these thoughts have to go inside at that time. As students, many of us have got into the habit of sleeping late. Many of us have started believing that we study better in the night because there's silence outside. Again, I must tell you, okay, nowadays there are a lot of workshops that are being conducted for the corporates, business leaders. It's called 5 a.m. Leadership Club. And people come on to the webinars to learn how to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning. It's called the 5 a.m. Leadership Club. Bharat knows it for thousands of years. It's called Brahma Muhurat. It's called Amrit Vela. The word itself gives the meaning. Brahma Muhurat, which means the highest vibrational Muhurat time of the 24-hour cycle, is between 4 and 5 a.m. Now children need to ask themselves, do we wake up at that time? Are we asleep? Or some of us are going to sleep? Now then we're going against nature completely. And we're not using our power. It's the highest vibrational time. So instead of studying late at night, go to sleep early, wake up at that Brahma Muhurat and you study. The subconscious will completely absorb it like that. Highest creativity, highest intuition power at the Brahma Muhurat time. At the Brahma Muhurat time. Use that timing, and that is the 4 to 5 a.m. timing. But for that, I need to sleep early. So aim to go to sleep by 9:30, 10, 10. Now don't think, oh, which world are we living in? Who sleeps at 10 o'clock nowadays? Anybody who wants to take care of their mind and body should sleep by 10 o'clock, because only then they can wake up between 4 and 5 a.m. And to sleep by 10, at least an hour before you sleep, disconnect from all your media, all the media. सबसे important चीज which is affecting our state of mind, consume. The content we consume. Emotional diet affects emotional health, and the content we consume, whether it's movies, serials, social media platforms, digital platforms, this is changing our emotional state. So what we consume, what we watch, read, listen is who we become. तो ये फिक्स करके रखना अपने पास. Every student needs to remember what I watch, what I read, what I listen is who we become. जो हम सुनेंगे, पढ़ेंगे, देखेंगे, वही हम बनेंगे. If we consume content which has lust, anger, greed, ego, jealousy, violence, ridiculing people in the name of comedy, if this is the content we consume, if this is the vocabulary of the songs we listen to, then nothing can stop us from becoming that. So a very big cause of all our emotional and mental health issues is content consumption. It's content consumption. Social media platforms have increased comparison, competition, and jealousy to another level altogether, and have made us dependent on public opinion for feeling good about ourselves. So we are like this, mujhe like karo, please like me. Now this is very, very, very damaging for our self-respect. This will not allow us to stand on our values and principles, stand for the right, because we'll always be dependent that people should approve. So we have to be very careful with content consumption. If you want good focus and concentration power, if you want to be peaceful and powerful, restrict content consumption. इतना कम कर दो, बस जितना जरूरी है उतना करो, और वैसे उसमें से मेजॉरिटी चीजें काम की नहीं है, क्योंकि उसकी इमोशंस ठीक नहीं है, उसकी वोकैबुलरी ठीक नहीं है, उसकी भाषा, words create our world. So we have to be very careful of what we consume, especially the last hour before we go to sleep. रात को सोने से पहले 1 घंटा पहले, don't finish your studies, get into bed and then look at your phone like this. If you do that, you're creating a lot of toxicity in your mind. It's toxicity. If you do it in the day, it's on the top layer of the mind. If you do it just before you sleep or just after you wake up, it's gone deep inside. So the damage is multifold. Impact on personality. So just before going to sleep, at least 15 minutes, consume pure healthy content. And that is where spirituality plays an extremely important role. That spiritual content, which means watch, read, listen, spiritual content, which is content of faith, purity, compassion, acceptance, empathy, forgiveness, letting go, happiness. It is content of that. And when you consume that just before going to sleep, then it's going to work on your subconscious, and the words are going to vibrate to your body in the next 6 hours of sleep. It's healing, it's energizing. करना सिर्फ 15 मिनट है, रिजल्ट अगले 6 घंटे चलेगा उसके ऊपर, next 6 hours, because you're doing it just before you go to sleep. So 15 minutes, watch, read or listen spiritual content just before going to sleep, and 2 minutes just before going to sleep, repeat those affirmations gently. I am powerful, I am happy, I am peaceful, I am stable, I am fearless, I am a giver, success is certain for me, my body. Just repeat it twice at least just before going to sleep. Uske baad don't look at the phone and just go to sleep with those as your last thoughts. Those words are vibrating on your mind and body throughout your sleep. When you wake up in the morning, first thing say your affirmations again, which means अपने संकल्पों को दोहरा लीजिए, क्योंकि वो सिद्ध होने वाले हैं सारा दिन में. दोहरा लीजिए उनको, repeat your संकल्प, and at least 15 minutes in the morning again spiritual content. This is minimum 15 minutes. And nobody should cheat themselves by saying I don't have time. I don't have time. ये अपने आप को धोखा देने वाली बात होती है, because हमारा बहुत टाइम सारा दिन में जा रहा है in managing our thoughts, our emotions, our words, our behaviors, so many mistakes, so many things happening. But all this will change if we start building our emotional stamina. कई बार as students हमें लगता है, oh, but I am not interested in spirituality. I also said that 25 years back. I am not interested in spirituality, but I did not know what is spirituality. That is the problem. If we don't know it, we just say it, I'm not interested. Because हमें लगा spirituality मतलब सब दुनिया की चीजें छोड़ दो, कपड़ों के रंग बदल दो, खाना पीना बदल दो. That is spirituality. Spirituality is not that. Spirituality means becoming a master of the mind. Spirituality means creating the right thought at the right moment, having a complete control over your emotions and thereby all over your world, because sankalp se sansar banta hai, sanskar se sansar banta hai. And so everybody is spiritual. Each one of us is. We just need to cultivate it into our day-to-day practice. So सुबह उठते ही आप अपने संकल्पों को दोहराइए, repeat your affirmations, and at least 15 minutes of spiritual study, and then meditation, yoga, pranayam. Half an hour to 45 minutes should be for the self. You cannot use your laptops and phones throughout the day without charging it in the morning. And similarly, you cannot get optimum use of your mind and body without energizing it every morning. It's unfair to keep doing that. That's when it breaks down. That's when it breaks down, because हम उसको use करते रहते हैं without energizing. So ये morning and night का ध्यान रख लीजिए सिर्फ. And during the day, be very careful. Your karam and sanskar is what creates your personality. And spiritual law, as will be our karam, so will be our destiny. So will be our destiny. अपने कर्मों का ध्यान रखिएगा. That is your priority in life. अपने कर्मों का ध्यान रखिएगा, क्योंकि कर्म से ही भाग्य बनता है. कर्म से ही भाग्य बनता है. आप कितनी भी मेहनत कर लीजिए, आप कितना भी फर्स्ट आ जाए, कर्म अगर सही नहीं है तो भाग्य will be a question mark. If not today, little later. Bhagya will be a question mark. So karam se bhagya banta hai is what we always need. We are studying, that is also a karam, but we have to be ethical, we have to be sincere, we have to be caring, we have to be cooperating, values and principles in what we do. Karam se hamara bhagya banta hai. And last, during the day, take care of the food you eat. This is again a spiritual equation only, which is going to go from Bharat to the world. Jaisa an, vaisa man. Jaisa pani, vaisi vani. If you take it from the West, they'll say you are what you eat, which means proteins, carbohydrates, minerals, and this. That's not what is the power. Power is jaisa an, vaisa man hota hai. Jaisa pani, vaisi vani hoti hai. Which means the food we eat and the water we drink has vibrations. And these vibrations influence our mind and our words. So be very careful what you eat. Be very careful of what you eat. Nowadays, we've got very used to eating out very often. We sit at home and we order food from outside. This is a big cultural change that has happened in the last couple of decades. If I go back 25 years back, my grandparents would say, "Bahar khana khane kaun jata hai?" I tell them, "Aaj bahar khana khane jayenge." They say, "Bahar khana khane kaun jata hai?" It was such an alien thing to them. आजकल के बच्चे बोलते, "Oh, how boring! Today we have to eat at home. So boring." So this is affecting our state of mind. We are what we eat means this. I am what I eat. Not my body is what I eat. I am what I eat. तो जैसा अन्न वैसा मन means आप जिसके हाथ का खाना खा रहे हो, who is cooking for you, and in what state of mind they are cooking for you, that will influence your state of mind. If you are just going to order food, you have no idea where it's coming from. You have no idea what's the quality of the money that is being used to cook that food. You have no idea what is the state of the mind of the person who has cooked for you. And if you eat that food, you have consumed emotional infection. You have consumed emotional infection. Why prasad is so important for us? क्यों हम प्रसाद ऐसे लेते हैं? क्यों हम उसको इतना रेवर करते हैं? क्योंकि that prasad has been cooked in the remembrance of the divine. It has been cooked in a very peaceful, meditative state. But सिर्फ इतना सा प्रसाद नहीं, सिर्फ इतना सा अमृत नहीं. Everything we eat should be prasad, and the water we drink should be amrit. So for that simple experiment with the vegetarian diet, a plant-based diet. We cannot eat an animal-based diet. Experiment and see this, but to see the difference, because an animal-based diet has vibrations of pain, has vibrations of fear, has vibrations of anger, has vibration of helplessness, then violence, and then death. It is very paradoxical कि अगर आपको सड़क पे दिखता है कोई जानवर जिसको चोट लगती है, आपको बड़ा बुरा लगता है, आप उसको उठा लेते हैं, लेकिन आपकी प्लेट में क्या कुछ आ रहा है वो हमें बुरा नहीं लग रहा है. So we need to ask ourselves कि हम क्या कर रहे हैं. तो जैसा अन्न वैसा मन. So first let's experiment with a vegetarian diet, a plant-based diet. Don't consume emotions of pain through your food. Do not consume emotions of pain. It's energy of death, and energy of death cannot give health. It can give proteins, not health, because it's energy of death. And second, अपने घर के अंदर या स्कूल कॉलेज के कैंटीन में जहाँ खाना बनता है, have high energy words playing where the food is being cooked. High energy words, whatever the family likes, prayers, hymns, spiritual songs, mantra, whatever the family chooses, but play it in the kitchen. So that food will get energized, water will get energized with those high energy words. Then while eating, make it a culture at home. No phone, no TV while eating. No phone, no TV while eating. I know as students, we studying so hard. तो जैसे ही खाना सामने आता है, we think, oh, this is my time to relax. So we go and sit in front of the TV to eat. It's very damaging, distracted eating. Everything that you're watching across the screen, उसके शब्द सारे खाने में चले जाते हैं. उसके शब्द सारे खाने में चले जाते हैं. That is a lot of cause of overthinking now. So do not watch screens while eating. Mindful eating practice. Ayurveda teaches us if we are stressed while eating, it's better not to eat. It is better not to eat. That's the impact of the body. So mindful eating practice. And last, just before eating, take a pause of 5 seconds. Just take a pause of 5 seconds. Look at your food and water. We were taught always to pray before we eat. What is the meaning? Energize your food and water with high energy words before eating. So just take a pause, gratitude to the divine, and say your sankalp, those affirmations, into your food and water. Energize your food and water with these sankalp. I am powerful, I am happy, I am fearless, I am stable, I am healthy. Energize your water and food with that. That food, those thoughts will go on to your mind. And because we are saying them almost 8 to 10 times during the day, एक बार सुबह, एक बार रात को, 3 बार खाने के टाइम, और 4-5 बार पानी पीने के टाइम. So we are repeating the sankalp 8 to 10 times in a day, and that too at very important timings. It will manifest. Within a month, you will start seeing a change in your personality, in your state of mind, in your sanskars, and very soon you will manifest it into your destiny. So sankalp se siddhi hoti hai is a very, very powerful spiritual law. If we start using it, we're going to see the results, and then you will be able to manifest in your life whatever you want to manifest. Just create the sankalp and create it at the right timings. Thank you so much. Shukriya. Om Shanti.
Ma'am, you are unmute.
Thank you, Sister Shivani. Can we have a short meditation so that the students and all the audience can experience that divinity?
Just sit back and relax your body and just take 3 deep breaths. and focus your attention. Bring it to the center of the forehead. It's the energy center. This is where the inner power resides, the Atma, the soul, the spirit, the master of this body. Visualize yourself, the energy, as a tiny point of light, like a little star. I am a powerful being. I am the master of my mind and my sense organs. I am the master. I am the creator of every thought and feeling. I am the creator of my life and my destiny. My every thought is pure. My every word is a blessing. And my every behavior is for the benefit of all. I am calm and stable always. God's power and blessings is a divine circle of protection around me. Visualize a white light, divine light, or a golden light circle all around you. Untouched by the vibrations around, I'm protected. This is my Suraksha Kavach. I am an angel of God. I am an angel of God. And God uses me to create a beautiful world. Om Shanti.